Welcome to the finale of Sonic 06.
Thank God.
Now, here's probably the most infamous scene. Why everybody loathes this game for all of its worth.
And then you see it as passable.
I don't
Well,
see
not
it
the
as,
scene,
like,
but...
I see it as passable. Because I don't take it to the extent as people do take it. Alright? I don't have my reasons for it.
Well, that's part of it is just the fan base being stupid in general.
I know.
That's nothing new with fan bases.
As we all know how that Sonic fan base is.
But what they do here is they pull a Snow White here.
In fact, actually, when this is happening, look at Silver's face. He's like, I can't believe it! See how surprised he looks? His eyes are wide open. Okay, apparently it's not just Silver.
Well.
God damn, Patrick. Why is it always a Patrick that screws everything up? Why do you always ruin the mood, Patrick?
Now, is it me, or is anyone else bothered by the fact that, you know, Amy isn't trying to snap Elise's neck?
You could have not picked a more appropriate edit for that.
But anyways, because of the Sonic's revival, he went super.
I've been outmatched.
And for some reason, Sonic has the power to give the super form to the other hedgehogs, which is weird.
You might as
He's
well
done
give
it in
the super
Sonic
form
Heroes
to everybody
before,
else
remember?
while you're at it,
He's
too.
done it
Yeah,
in Sonic Heroes before, remember?
Yeah, that's true. He did do it in Sonic Heroes.
And now
You
for
might
that
as
logic,
give
I
it
just
to
wish he
everybody
grabbed
else.
Tails and Knuckles.
First appearance of Super Silver.
The only appearance of Super Silver. We never see this guy again.
Yeah, that's true. We don't.
The only times
His
we see
friends call him
Silver is
Gold.
if it's spin-offs or just a random appearance.
Like, friends called him
Might
Gold.
be, Knuckles has an
Generations.
expression.
But time to take on the last boss of the game, Solaris.
Meanwhile, at the ground floor, Amy is killing Elise for kissing Sonic.
She's beating her to a pulp or a
Okay,
Pico hammer.
guys, don't do what I do. Automatically switch to Silver as soon as the fight begins,
Yeah.
because he is the only one that actually can damage him in the first beginning of the battle.
Yeah, the first phase of this fight is specific characters that need to do damage. So it's like first Silver, then Shadow, then Sonic, I think.
Now, Super Silver is not he can't
Okay.
hit anything.
Here's the
with
difference between
shit.
Super Silver and normal Silver. He's a different color. That's about it. He
Yeah.
does the same stuff.
Do I need to make the joke again?
Maybe.
It'd be more fitting.
His friends call him Gold.
Yep.
But anyways, the beginning of the fight, Silver, you need to switch to Silver so you can actually throw these meteorites back at Solaris. That's the only way you can damage him at the beginning, until his armor breaks off.
And just like other fights with Silver, these projectiles you throw back and whack each other on the way, so it's kind of luck-based if they'll hit him, or the meteor just smash on the way over like that.
See? And it really becomes really hard. I really had really good luck with Silver this time.
Yeah.
And immediately the second part, whenever you break the armor, switch to Shadow.
Yeah, because then you use Shadow to break the second part of the armor.
Is there any difference between using Shadow and Sonic?
Oh, there's a major
Shadow
difference between
has
all
those
three.
Chaos Spirits. That's the only form of attack Shadow has, is those
Yeah.
Chaos Spirits.
What about
Sonic
Sonic?
homes in.
Sonic uses the flare dash.
Yeah, so Sonic homes in with a dash. Shadow uses Chaos Spheres to attack, and then Silver just throws things. So that's really the different attacks.
So it's varied. It's far more varied than, you know, the final boss of SA2 is.
That's true. That and your ring counts are actually, I think they're actually different with each hedgehog. Yeah, they're changing, so.
I hate to say
Each
it.
hedgehog has their own ring variation, and you can swap to regain rings.
I hate to say it, but as shitty as this game has been, this final boss doesn't look all that bad.
Yeah, the
It's
final
not.
boss is
It
one of the
really
better
is.
parts about the game, from what
In
I've
fact,
seen.
if anything, it might be better. It's actually better than most of the 3D Sonic game final bosses from what I'm seeing.
Well,
In my
this boss is
opinion,
probably one of the
I
best
think
ones in the
this is
game.
probably- and I'm being completely honest with this. Besides one little thing that we'll see in phase 2, because there's actually 2 phases to this. This is probably the most well-designed final boss in Sonic, in my opinion.
He just knows his head just disappeared. It's like, that's random when you
Well,
think
that and
about
it's
it.
all kinds of epic, so.
Well, this fight is 10 times better than Time Eater, in my opinion. Time Eater is probably one of the worst final bosses.
But, anyways, that was only phase 1.
Yep, phase 2, he comes back as a Triforce from Skyward Sword, basically.
Is it over? No.
But it also has my fucking favorite.
Oh, yeah, that's
Greetings,
right.
I am from the Hylian Shield. Worship me.
The only thing missing is my Triforce.
It's like the cyber elf merge with it or something.
Here we go.
Here we go, the orchestrated
Solaris
version of his world.
Oh man.
The orchestrated version of his world.
I'm turning up the volume.
Something's different.
But
I would be wary about that because we've been getting a lot of echo in a lot of our videos.
for this phase, the only way you can actually attack is whenever he's firing a beam. That's the only time you can actually attack. Otherwise, he'll block it.
Yep.
Like this. That's the only way you can actually attack this.
It
So
doesn't
just
matter
stick
which
with
character
Sonic.
you use, so... Yeah, you can probably just stick with
it's
Sonic.
It's better to stick with Sonic, but Silver is practically useless in this phase.
Yeah. If you
The
need
first
to use
time I
another
actually heard
Hedgehog,
this thing-
use Shadow.
The first time I actually heard this theme was from Rabbid Luigi's Countdown intros. I didn't
Yeah.
even know what the theme was at first.
I've heard this used from a lot of people's countdowns, actually.
But one little thing about Sonic 06 that, you know, it makes me want to replay this game as this song right here. Just hearing this song again. And the final boss.
And then you remember
makes
all
me-
the frustration that got you to this point, and then you
And
went,
then you remember how long it is, too,
Ha.
so how long you have
So
to
it's
deal with
well-
it. Like, no,
so
screw
it's well
this,
worth it, I guess.
go right to the final fight.
But I'll show you how useless Silver is in this fight.
Don't hold back. Let him have it, Silver.
The only time you can actually attack is when he's shooting the beam, and actually I managed to get a hit on that.
And even then, yeah, it's random, too,
But
because the
fact
same
of the
exact...
matter is that he ends up blowing up your projectiles anyway.
Yeah, you don't only have the high tendency of doing it, but now so does Solaris, because he's aiming right at you.
Solaris, well, not only that, is he's launching a lot more!
Yeah, he's launching at least 10 to 15 every single time he fires, so it's just... There's no real point to using Silver. You just can't get a shot in.
to the point that Solaris' attacks are actually draining Silver's ring, so it's not actually worth it.
Yeah,
I guess
that,
you
and
can-
he goes
so I guess you can do that
spastic
as a
with
balance
lasers.
run, maybe.
Yeah. I actually managed because...
Well, that's
one of
just
the-
cheap.
That is cheap. I'm sorry. That is really freaking cheap. And that was my one little nitpick about this boss is that attack right
Yeah,
there.
when you're
He's
playing as
trying to
Sonic,
attack.
it looks like that's when he goes all out with lasers. Everyone else just uses
Greetings,
one.
my name is Solaris. I'm gonna trap you in a cage of lasers.
Hey, let's have a dance party, come on. I'm a disco light, just boot up,
Hey.
just go ahead, boot up Sonic Generations, play yourself some Speed Highway Classic, and we'll have a dance party.
Ow!
That's all you need, I mean,
Just this attack
enough.
right here bothers the crap out of me. I can't...
for one,
This
his
is-
lasers are so bright they actually hurt your eyes. So it's really hard to make out
Look how
anything.
many rings I
You
had
had,
before
well,
his
because of
face.
compression, I barely
You had
could tell,
one ring
but...
left
I
on
had
You had
one ring. I was like, well, I'm gonna die.
You know, I love
Okay, now
how
I'm
everyone's
starting to hold
just...
back on whether I consider this boss well designed or not.
You know, I love how
It's-
everyone is praising Silver, yet he's not doing much work at all.
You can do it, Silver. Ow, ooh, ee, ow. Take this.
You can do it! I'm just gonna sit over here on the bench, thank you.
The way I thought I'd end this fight is, well, with Sonic, so...
Well, that's probably the best way, mainly because of his attack. He does the
Because
most...
what?
And for some
damage.
reason, sometimes his dash attack doesn't register.
Yeah, that's stupid, but his hitbox is really weird, I think.
His hitbox is really weird with this.
Yeah.
But on that,
But it's
I
best to
think-
use Sonic for the final hit, mainly because it's easier to hit him with it. So you could do like the most damage with Sonic out of the 3 Hedgehogs. But
There
now
we
all
go.
that thing is missing is the Triforce, and then we're good.
Oh
never
my
mentioned that enough, but hey,
God, I can't
Triforce.
believe it's over.
and not only that, I got a NIST rank.
We don't care.
Yay. Totally means something.
Exactly, we're not gonna care, we're not gonna
Where are
use
you gonna
that.
spend those rings?
Exactly, you're not gonna use them on anything.
And as long long last, the Solaris is destroyed.
Same as,
surprised
sorry
she's
for
about ready to
breaking your
hug.
neck earlier. Give me back my boyfriend, please.
It's like, don't worry, it's okay. Just never touch my hedgehog again, or I'll bang you with this hammer even harder. I'll bash that head in the ground.
You see why the fans don't like you? That's why. But
just-
I'm
just sit
actually
in your
gonna get
corner.
into that. Okay, this is what bothers me is the whole entire fans calling it bestiality. It's not bestiality, folks. It's not. Bestiality is having sex.
Well, they do fade out to white.
Did you destroy it?
No, Lester, no.
Oh my god.
That is the true
We don't want to know.
How do you know that's
And-
the true Solaris? You weren't there when he was being born.
Yeah,
But-
you got a point.
Pretty
Sonic,
sure
you
it
don't
was
know.
only Shadow and Silver that were there.
I know,
Yeah.
that's my point.
Sonic basically did nothing but chase after release. So he wouldn't know anything about Solaris.
This is Solaris.
Heck, he would not know anything about Mephiles.
But anyways, like,
Beautiful.
you guys, the whole entire playthrough, we kept saying how this is not related to the timeline at all. This scene explains why it's not related to the timeline at all.
Exactly, because this erases this game out of the history. And then Crisis City comes back in Sonic Generations. What?
You gotta wonder, with all that could have been able to do, how come they never bothered to, like, find a way to do anything with that? Oh wait, never mind.
Well, it was just weird how they wrote it out, the stories. Like, they knew this would not have a good consistency with the story. So they wrote it out themselves. The second the game was released. The
They
only thing they had to
decided,
fix
okay,
was
well,
Blaze.
this story is weird. Let's not talk about it anymore. Let's just have it go
The
back.
only
to
thing they had to
develop-
fix out of the
it's
story
like the
was
developers
Blaze.
knew this game was bad before it was released.
In a sense, you can say that, yeah.
It is time to retcon.
Well, I would say that, but then again, we got a Sonic stage of Sonic Generations. So.
Well, that's the thing. Before we were talking about how all of time had collapsed, and that's why everything was just a mess. That's the exact same reason why this got dragged back into it.
Yeah, the only two things that don't make sense is Crisis City and Generations, and how Silver made appearances in other games so easily.
Well, I've heard Sonic Rivals was supposed to explain that, kind of, but I
Yeah,
haven't
but from
played
what
the
I've
game.
seen, I don't know how much it really explains, but doesn't
I haven't
explain
watched.
that much.
I haven't watched the playthrough of Sonic Rivals 2 to figure out for myself.
I've
but
only
I-
seen some of the first, and it still didn't explain
But
Silver
at the
much.
same time, I heard it fucks with Sonic Rush's plot too, so I don't.
No,
bother.
not in Sonic Rush's plot. Silver's never in that.
Yeah, no, Silver's never in Sonic
No,
Rush,
I meant
but-
like
You
wasn't
and
one of the Eggmans from Sonic Rush and Rivals?
Yeah, Eggman Nega, they kind of used as a future Eggman. That kind of screwed up with the Eggmans.
But anyways, when Elise blows out this flame, the whole entire events of Sonic OS never existed because Solaris never existed
What happens to the
at that
world?
point.
That's really selfish, at least.
Greedy.
Yeah, that is really freaking selfish.
Greedy.
It's, even Sonic is just like, no one likes you. Just go away.
Greedy. That's like
And
one of
Elise
the
was
worst
never
things
seen
right
again.
there. And seriously, in the
Except
back of my
for in the
mind, I
Archie
heard
comics.
in the back of my mind after that line, I heard Johnny screaming, "You crazy bitch," or something like that. I don't remember what he said in this playthrough, but it's just that's one of the most greediest things to say. Oh, I don't care about erasing the timeline, fixing all our issues. I just want to still know you. That's not screaming greedy, and just selfishness.
Well, to be honest, I think Amy did the same thing too when she said, "I want Sonic no matter what happens to him" or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but that was not concerning the whole entire timeline. That was just concerning him and, well, issues.
But here we
But,
go.
yeah.
First scene in the game again, but this time it's different.
We don't
Hey,
know
man.
how that happened, but
No, it just erased the timeline. That's
It
the
basically
thing. The
just
whole
erased
entire
all the
game
events, so
erased
it
events.
took you back to the last event that actually mattered, which was, well, this festival.
Yeah. And this time, Eggman's not trying to destroy everything.
And this time, Sonic's able just to come by and say hi, but he doesn't. He just kind of
The
stares.
timeline's been undone. I can run fast
he
again.
actually
Yes.
was good again, finally.
You got a point there, Marley.
Timeline's done. I can run fast again.
The only thing that's weird about it is how, well, this is what most stories do in general. There's a kind of erase of memory of how Elise and Sonic kind of feel like they still know each other.
It felt like
But then again, this is a cliche you see in a lot of different stories, so it's nothing new.
Sure, it's just the wind. Of course. But it felt so
Shut up, Meg.
somehow.
We had to get that in one last time.
Don't think we actually made that joke that much anyway.
We've only made it, I think,
like-
mostly during
I
Sonic's
like-
story.
I like the way this ending looks.
Well, it's
This
CG.
part- I know, but... And why is the blue?
Yes,
Come on!
Sonic looks into the moon and wonders why isn't it blown into half.
Ken,
The end.
Crap, you got the Echo Cannon right!
something
Except
tells
there is
me
no
they retconned
cannon.
A little bit. Something tells me they retconned a little bit more than this game.
But
They
anywho,
retconned
Yeah.
the other half of the movie.
Anywho. Everybody shout finally. And 3, 2, 1. Finally!
Finally.
Meh.
My
Ah, that was gonna say finally.
I had to get that in. I'm sorry. How long has this been in the making now?
We've been doing this ever since May 2012. And here it is, as of recording this, July of 2013. This will
feels
probably
like-
be up around August, if not September. Watch, this is gonna go up in like January of 2014 just to screw with me.
I would do that.
If you do that, I swear, you're not doing another playthrough on this channel again.
But
Even though I
anyways,
probably can't stop you.
I didn't speed up these credits because I wanted us to reflect the project a little bit. What'd
Didn't
you
we just
guys
shout
think?
finally? And me saying
I
yes?
know.
7 minutes.
I know.
Well, the
What did
credits
you-
are long
what
in
did you
general
guys
for all
have?
stories.
Yeah, I know. But what did you guys truly think about this project? You know?
The
Okay,
game
well, the
could
only
have
issue
been
I had
worse,
with
the
this-
playthrough went well.
Yeah, the playthrough went alright. The only issue was just our sporadic getting around to recording it. That was really
That's
it.
mostly my fault.
On the
That
Which
was-
is why
I
after
like
this
the
game we
credits.
basically just record and then upload.
I like the credits music.
It's so much better than the pop lyrical arrangement of
music.
Sonic 2 credits music, right?
Yeah. And then I'll just come
Exactly.
back to screw with us.
This is a good lyrical theme.
Yeah, it is.
Kind of reminds me of the credits theme of Final Fantasy IX somewhat.
Well, then again, Final Fantasy and Sonic 06 are very similar. Well,
Beautiful.
presentation-wise.
Well, look how long this took.
You get the point there.
But yeah, I had a lot of issues with this, but I'm actually really happy I overcame those issues to finally get this done because a lot of it was just recording issues. For some reason, I had terrible time with this. The reason why is because my capture card started pooping out, and then my computer decides to just play games with me, especially towards the end with Shadow Story.
So basically, this playthrough cursed your computer much like Lewis's recording of
Well, this was
did.
happening before this even started. So, it kind of like added.
Kind of added it a little bit, yeah. But I would actually kind of compare it to Lewis's playthrough too.
Yeah.
I know Johnny had to finish it, but
It would have almost came down to the point where someone else would have hijacked it, and the only other person would have had to have been me. And even
You
then, I
don't
don't
have
own
the
the game.
you don't even have the game, so how could you have hijacked it?
Exactly. I wouldn't be able to, so we would have been screwed if you never finished this.
I guess I could have if I would have found the game somewhere. Well, I
And
mean,
would
I
you
found
want
the game somewhere for $5, but I never bothered to buy it.
But like I said, would you want to? Because I pushed through Genesis,
No,
you
I
pushed through
really would.
06.
I really wouldn't.
So
I'm sorry, I just wouldn't.
We know who's gonna push through the not well-received Sonic titles, and the bad ones.
I mean,
I'm not playing Sonic Blast.
Well, we'll strap you down to your chair then.
No! Don't
So-
make me, please.
Sonic Blast. You consider Sonic Blast the worst, right?
Sonic Blast, yes.
You know
Which is why I
what?
wanna play
We'll just
Sonic 3D
screw with
Blast
you.
instead.
We'll start our Sonic 3D Blast playthrough and then just go right to Sonic Blast.
No! Sonic
It'd just be the
Blast
worst
is
thing.
bad. Sonic 3D Blast is good.
Yeah.
At least I think
But-
so. So, yeah.
Okay, but do I truly think this is the worst Sonic game? No. Is it on my top list? Kind of. But yeah.
Well, at least
really
you're not like
think
one of
Secret
those
Rings is
kids
worse
that
than
says
this, in my
that-
opinion.
At least not one of those
Because
kids that said this is one of the
at least-
best games ever.
I wouldn't say this is the best game ever. I wouldn't say it's the worst game ever either. I'm indifferent
Well,
about it. reason why is because I've played practically every Sonic game, and
Well-
I really do find a lot more games are worse than this, gameplay-wise.
And
I'm really hinting at Secret Rings and Black Knight, to be perfectly honest.
yeah, I can kind of see where you're going at, because at least you have free movement, whereas Secret Rings is an on-rails game, and you don't really have much freedom at all.
Well, same for Black
Yeah.
Knight. The only difference between the movement of Secret Rings and Black Knight is that you can use the joystick in Black Knight to move instead of motion control. Still not that fine-tuned, but
Mhm.
I
it's
still
just
think
that.
Secret Rings is honestly worse than this. My perfect. Okay, I'll say this: I haven't sold this game, but I sold Secret Rings.
Would you ever record Secret Rings, though?
He doesn't own it.
Ken, I'm flipping you off as hard as I can through the computer right now.
So he's basically just
I-
raising his hand
I-
and putting it down because he's too lazy.
I am
In other words, I don't think
going to
anybody
text-
would be willing to
Well, I got the game. I don't
Actually,
mind
Ken?
it, so I'll do it.
Actually, Ken, Justin's LP'd it.
I was about to say, it's either going to be me or Justin. It really depends on
I don't know
who
if I
picks
should
their
feel
capture
sorry
card
for
first,
John.
which is basically only me.
I don't know if I should feel sorry for my mom.
Justin,
Well, I
you
don't
are a
mind the
brave
game.
man.
That's why I would do it too. So it really doesn't matter. I thought the game was actually decent.
I
just don't
I
like the
don't
controls.
like it. I hate the controls. It becomes so hard to control, and I can't play it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for all the people who like Sonic and the Secret Rings, but I do not like that game. I think it's worse than this game.
Well, then you see
That's
me
my
raising
gosh.
my fingers.
At least this game is playable. I'm being completely honest with this. This game is playable.
But to the moon.
And to all the people who yell at me and are trolling the comments saying this game is unplayable, this game is playable. Here's
to
the
the
proof
moon.
for you. You have to go out of your way to do that, Leslie. I'm
Oh,
not
well, then
counting
again, that can happen
You
in
have to go
generations if you're
out
not
of your
careful.
Not
way
this
for
freaking remix. I don't like it.
Well, they play it all the time.
Oh wait, this is not the rap version.
Yes, it is.
It is.
They play this in all the credits.
God dang it. I hate rap. I'm sorry. I just really hate rap with a burning passion.
Honestly,
Really?
when I first
I like
heard this
Knuckles
song.
themes.
Oh, yeah, Knuckles themes I like, but that's a guilty pleasure.
But I'm
But,
being perfectly
this one-
honest. All the glitches that you have to go that people have shown off in videos, those are glitches that they actually went out of their way to go do. If you play it the first time, you're not going to encounter those. You may encounter some glitches, but those glitches you are not going to encounter. And I'm
Exactly.
not going to tell people, say, this is a bad game because of that. No, if you play it normally, it's alright.
No, we'll just
It's
say it's
not-
weird because of Havoc. So it's a good timing for Havoc to appear.
So would you
This was an
actually
early-
recommend
early
this game to people and the gist of things?
I would recommend Sonic Adventure 2 rather than this. And I'm being perfectly honest with that.
I think the best
You'd
way
have
to
to
word
be
that
like-
question is, we'll recommend this if you're the curious type. It's not the complete bottom of the series,
I
even though
will have to
it's
say this.
financially the worst.
Everybody needs to play this game to experience it. To experience it.
Yeah.
Not to actually be like, oh, I love this game to death. It's the best game ever. Just play it to experience it.
Kind of why we
Some
did a
people
Sonic
will have that opinion
Genesis
of it. I know
playthrough.
there are some people who love this game, to each their own. I don't hate it. But yeah, you have to experience it at some point.
But, I mean...
If
I'm
I ever
not
run
gonna say
into it, if I ever run into this game and maybe think of buying it, I might actually stream it.
Well, you can. It's only $5.
I just need to find a copy
Well,
around
not,
here.
not anymore because I don't live in the old town where the store was at. So
And with that, Sonic 06 is done.
thank God.
Now to move on to a more next gen than next gen.
Probably generations then. Because we got that done.
Good with no more Sonic 06 episodes having to be done at this point now. As
Bonus part.
I'm so used to it.
No, let's just go on the generation CD, Sonic 3, not this
Sonic
again.
Advance. Sonic Chronicles, hang on.
No, let's go back to 06 first.